Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 17 of Let's Play Republic the Revolution. We're going to get right back into our activities today as we work to finish off our rivals in the town of Ekaterine. All is in place for us to leave this town behind us, except for Comrade Joseph Nasarov's lack of resolve, which it honestly pains me to say is hindering us greatly. I'm honestly considering dropping Comrade Nasarov from the movement right now, just for the sake of fulfilling the necessary criteria to get the NPRM out of Ekaterine. I really wish I could strengthen Mr. Nasarov's resolve. From the bottom of my heart, I would do anything. I'd give all the movement's money, all of its points, just to get Comrade Nasarov back in to the fold. Because he's a valuable member. I don't want to let him go, but at the same time, I cannot afford to have him dragging our movement down. In the meantime, we need to continue our fight against the potential resurgence of the Church of Novistrana. We're going to try and give Comrade Nasarov less work to do, since that way we'd have a better chance to heighten his resolve, since I believe that he doesn't enjoy putting up all of this graffiti, which is probably the reason that he is so frustrated with our methods. Now, it's also important for us to continue our other campaigns, to target all the enemies of our movement, wherever they may rear their ugly heads. And sooner or later, it will become necessary for us to make a move into Korolyov Port, and thus to break the back of the Mafia once and for all. To show ourselves as a force in the battle against organized crime. An organized crime which is growing by the day. We need to hold together. That's the clearest thing to me. The Novistranan People's Revolutionary Movement is supreme. However, at the very same time, we are being bogged down by the activities of Comrade Joseph Nasarov, and as well by his lack of support for the movement. It deeply frustrates me, although in a way I should be glad, since it'll make this series a whole lot longer, meaning that I won't have to go around looking for another game to play. I hope that enough of you enjoy the series for that to be fine. Let's see what the newspapers say. Fortunately, our control of the press means that the socialists are being condemned for their graffiti rather than us. This is good to see. Very good indeed. I wish I could cancel this charity work right now since it's pointless. But regardless, I'm going to continue on my way. I'm going to continue to direct our activities against the enemies of the movement. Our revolution is unstoppable. I'm going to try and anoint Comrade Nazarov once more today. I hope that it works, but I fear that it may not. Meanwhile, we're coming under attack in Lizitsky Towers and in the town center. This is very bad news, very bad indeed. And we need to prepare ourselves to fight back. We need to prepare ourselves to secure a decisive victory. Because otherwise, we will be faced with abject failure. In the meantime, I'm struggling to stop myself from sneezing. I apologize if it can be heard in the video. Although that's not my problem necessarily, since I can't stop myself from sneezing. We're going to get Mr. Baturin to continue his charity work, since at the moment, he alone is holding this movement together. He is doing more than everyone else combined, myself included, unfortunately. Now, while we wait for our activities to take place, let's take a quick look at the streets of Ekaterin. The cars look newer than the last time I saw them. And the fact that people have enough spare time to jog shows a general prosperity in Voronezh Fields. Actually, that's probably the reason for the cars being so modern. As we go into the Morozov Manor region, we see once more and more Ladas. Not that that's a bad thing. If anything, it's a positive thing. They're better quality cars, domestically produced as well. On the topic, I wonder just how much of Novistrana's industry has been left intact following the fall of communism here. I hope that Comrade Karasov's cronies haven't taken it all apart. Meanwhile, our anointing action has failed. So instead, I'll launch an investigation into Korolyov Port. I want to level up because it'll help me a lot. It'll help me by strengthening my anointment skills, although it's going to take a while to do so. We need to get Comrade Filatov out on the prowl, working in Lizitsky Towers to break the power of the church, since we're on the verge of losing the area. We also need a poster campaign up in Morozov Manor, to make sure that that area is ours. Now, the latest reports are in, and I do not like what I'm seeing. Our movement is effectively stagnant. Our average level is lower than that of the opposition, and so is our average resolve. In the long term, this cannot be sustained, and I fear that we might begin to go into a decline very soon. That would be unallowable, impermissible. And I think that we're going to take the radical action of kicking Mr. Nazarov out of the NPRM for the time being.
Corbeia Fana! Yamazenterma! You will stoop!
We still have some fiery sermons going on from Baturin, which is always good, since he is holding the movement together. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We're under great pressure, and I don't like it. It's just pushing down upon my back. It's terrible. It really is. And I think that very soon I will sack Comrade Joseph Nazarov. First, however, I want to give Boris Filatov a promotion. It would be a well-deserved promotion, that's for sure. Since he's going up and down across the area, working hard, getting things done. He's our smooth operator, and he's doing a lot more than anybody else. As you see, Boris Filatov has gained a level. And we're going to use this to boost his charisma. His status as well. We'll upgrade his poster campaign activity, since that's the one that we use most often. In the meantime, we've surprisingly lost control of Lizitsky Towers to the Church of Novistrana. This is absolutely ridiculous. How is it possible for something like this to happen? The movement is falling apart. And in no way am I going to let this happen. I am going to just sit by and allow the NPRM to disintegrate. Not on my watch! I would sooner die than allow such an aberration to take place. And so, I shall prepare to take radical action. We're going to cut Joseph Nazarov loose from the movement. He's no longer of use to us, since he's only causing problem after problem. I'm sorry, Joseph, but you are too much of a handful for me. He's 4 levels higher than me. He's the highest level... Wait. No, I was wrong. Those are experience points. Excuse me there. What's true, however, is that Comrade Nazarov is a valuable member of the movement and an experienced member of the movement. My own resolve has dipped below 60. To quote the common Novistranan expression, Bliat! Bliat and bliat again. We're falling back, we're losing, and I am very angry about it. So this is it. I am going to get ready for decisive action. Mr. Nazarov, say goodbye. I've just had enough of you causing all these problems for the movement. I'm going to fire you here and now, and you deserve it. You deserve it more than anyone else to tell the truth. And I wouldn't be surprised if you were an infiltrator, an enemy of our movement within our group. Now here we go. We've done it. We passed the mission, and now we've reached our next objective. We must prepare to leave Ekaterine behind us and move to the next town of Pugachev. Or Pugachev. However you may pronounce it. We're going to leave Joseph Nazarov behind us as well, because we don't need him. We have had enough of him. He did enough, he served his purpose, and now we're going to prepare to leave Ekaterine. I think that I'll be leaving Oleg Baturin, our loyal and fiery preacher, as the movement's representative in Ekaterine, as the local leader of the NPRM. And although the term sounds quite negative, he will effectively be our Gauleiter for the region, as we move on to the very next town. We are going to hold a mammoth rally as we get ready to leave Ekaterine. We're going to show the entire city that we are determined to liberate not only this town, but also we are going to liberate this country. Now, Oleg Baturin, if we leave him in Ekaterine, would guarantee us a very steady flow of points, meaning that technically it would be impossible for us to be defeated in Pugachev. Mr. Filatov, in contrast, would bring us slightly fewer points. However, bringing Filatov would... well, leaving Filatov behind would be a better idea, since he'd be capable of maintaining things more or less stably. And I think that that's what I think I might actually do. Boris Filatov shall become our agent in Ekaterine, while Oleg Baturin shall move on with us to Pugachev. Here we go. Goodbye, Ekaterine, and good morning, Pugachev! We're beginning the second great phase of our adventure. As day 60 dawns, we are in the massive city of Pugachev. The small town days are over now. Historically, the great Novistranian leaders have all hatched their schemes and shook up the country from here, back when it was the capital of the nation. However, it was destroyed by the war and rebuilt as an industrial town by the USSR. So this will be our stepping stone to the even larger town of Berezina. If we are to effectively combat Karasov and his regime, we will need to establish ourselves here before moving on. So we'll need to select the primary methods of funding our movement. But before I do that, on this overwhelming note, I would like to announce the end of this episode. I hope that you've all enjoyed the series so far, and I hope very much that you'll all continue to tune into it and enjoy it. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment and to subscribe to my channel to show your support. I have been the Nerd Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for today.